Welcome back to Chess and Metrics. I'm FIDE Master Samuel Weber, and now I'm going to show you what probably is the most weirdest chess game I've ever played in my life. And during the game, my opponent and I even shared a very funny moment. So let's see. So the opening went very uneventful. I played the Retty opening as usual, and yeah, my opponent reacted in a very common way, just occupying the center. We played just some moves. He was like 200 points elo less than me, so I thought I just play an opening to tease him a bit, like he gets the center, I will have some counter chances. But it was a very solid game. c6, very solid, rook e1. He took on e4, and now that's clear, he just wants a solid game. And yeah, nothing much is happening, but very important to know, white is a bit better here already with something like a4, what I played in the game, because there's one difference in this position, or maybe two even, and that's, first of all, the knight here is a bit dominated, so it doesn't know that, it's not that easy to reroute that knight. And this knight can very fastly go to some good squares. And then we will see the second difference, also this knight can come. And the second difference is that he played c6 already, so if he were to play a5 now, he will definitely have some weaknesses that I could attack, maybe like this. And white has some pull here, but he reacted with f6. It's a very solid move, very good structure now against this knight, but this bishop is a bit bad. And here I probably should have spent a bit more time. Knight a3 is still good, but bishop e6. Here I should have played a different move, spent more time, think where the pieces belong. I was just very confident because I know these structures very well, and I thought I will play for some plan that I remember. But I should of course play bishop e3 here first and then knight d2, because knight d2 allows this annoying move bishop h6, trading his worst piece, and now the position should be fine for black. But for some strange reason, now he started to get over ambitious. I think like only white can be better in this position, if someone, because I'm a bit more active. And he just went for the move b5, which is clearly like a big positional mistake. You weaken the c6 pawn long term, you weaken these dark squares, and you're not even developed fully, so this is a very strange decision. And I was pleased to see this. I went knight a5, b4, knight c4, and now I get this grip on the squares, especially on the c4 square. And yeah, my opponent even played c5, which is quite logical, he wants to get the knight out, but okay, now the light square on b5 is also weak for later, maybe for the bishop. So I thought that I'm already clearly better, but I still have to prove my advantage, so I played bishop f1. The bishop on g2 is the worst piece. Yeah, and here I thought, okay, how will I continue? But first of all, what is his move? Yeah, and he played the move knight to d7. After which I clearly understood his intentions probably would be to play like knight b6, just to get some counterplay. And let's say I were to play some logical move like rook d1, he will go knight b6. If I trade, he gets the a file. Probably I can trade here, but it's not what I wanted exactly. It's probably okay for me, but I wanted something more. So I was calculating very long here, like 10 minutes probably, I'm not sure, but something around that time mark. And I found this remarkable setup, and it was a very truly stunning game and weird coordination of pieces soon, which also now is the solution for our Instagram feed. And it is really, really special. This game has a very special place now in my chess career, because probably such motives I will rarely see again. And I started with the move knight b7, which activates the knight and also claims the d-file at some point because he has to leave now. And the rook has to leave the d-file, after which I could get control of it. And I played the move knight cd6 just to make sure that his rooks are a bit trapped. Already this looks a bit funky and his position looks rather strange. And I'm quite active. The bishop also comes into play, the rooks on the d-file. And now my opponent, of course, wanted to untangle and played the move knight c8. And here I really thought to myself, wait, I have a very nice resource here. And that is the move, the beautiful, stunning move knight to d8. After which we have a very special construction of pieces. And I think it's quite remarkable, this position. And some people were also looking at the board and frowning, like, what is this position? And my opponent was very focused still and played a move which probably no one can ever guess. And after that move, we both shared this funny moment which I mentioned at the beginning of this video, where he played the move bishop a2, which makes me laugh as well right now because it's just such an awkward position, like so strange and weird. But it's also very beautiful. And I thought like, okay, this has to be lost, and it is lost, but actually chess is so difficult, you have to find a very precise way here. I started with the correct move, knight c6, and I also forgot to tell, I wanted to tell this, after bishop a2, my opponent and I looked at each other and started laughing for like 2 minutes until someone made like shh and shished us away, and we were just, yeah, very happy about this position. It was just very funny. And this is what you should do, yeah? You should enjoy chess. Of course you shouldn't laugh, but it's quite funny that we shared this moment. And after that we were focused again, and after knight c6, he played take on d6, but for instance, rook b6 runs into the beautiful motive that he cannot take either rook because he cannot take both knights because I have a fork anyway with one of the knights. That's quite remarkable. So he took on d6, and here I should just realize, take a moment, and should realize that the threat is stronger than the execution. I will have 3 threats and he cannot defend, I will win the game. But instead, I was so focused on trapping that bishop that I took the rook on b8 and played rook d1 first to include just another piece to the attack, and then of course b3. And here I thought this bishop is trapped, I have the d-file, I should be winning. But I also saw, of course, his only resource is c4, but I thought, okay, I will just take rook d7, and his bishop is still trapped, and I have some mating ideas also, or some 7th rank attack, so I thought this should be winning. And then he finds this next nice move, also very strange but logical. Knight to a3, trapping another piece, now the knight cannot get out, but at the same time attacking my c-pawn. And the irony of this position is, many people would think, what happens after rook a1? Well, bishop b1, the trapped pieces will trap my rook. So this is quite hilarious, but also very instructive. And here I fought for a very long time, because I felt, okay, this is the moment, I should do something. And I found a very interesting move, rook c1, making sure that these pieces stay trapped. And the idea was that after rook c6 and bishop takes b3, I have this nice trick with rook d1 mate or winning a piece. And I was not sure after takes a5 how he gets back. Probably this is still manageable. Maybe computer will show some ideas for black, but I thought this a-pawn is quite dangerous. And also I have this pin and sometimes some mating threats, so I don't know. It's very messy. But he went for a6, just protecting his pawn. Okay. I played rook a7 just to get some mating idea if allowed. And he played the move rook d6 just to stop that. And here I thought I'm close to winning because I saw the move c3. After which he quickly stumbled and lost the game. But here there's an amazing resource. You can do it like he did in the game and then play the move knight to c2. And you have to understand that this is somehow some holdable position, because probably rook b6, after this he always has some knight jump, and I cannot get my rook to the back rank. If I get it in, then I win, but I cannot get it. And that's why it's probably a draw, or equal at least. Not a draw, but equal position. But he did not find that one. But the more stunning one is he can play knight c2 immediately. After which I should transpose to this position, practically, because this could get dangerous a bit also. Rook d1 and bishop b1. And now he will win this pawn, and probably, if I calculate well, we probably get some rook endgame here, something like this. And maybe the move a5 probably here is quite good. Something like this, takes, and yeah, this should be probably holdable, but not so sure. Maybe I should play something else here. Not that sure yet, but yeah, that's basically what this endgame is about. Maybe he has some bishop d3 move here, which is holding actually, if I think about it. Yeah. But okay, it's anyway quite difficult. And yeah, then he quickly stumbled, and now he probably also understood that, yeah, I can at some point win the piece or threaten the mate on the back rank. Takes. I played h4 just to have luft for the king, very nice move. And now I can really just take his piece, because after rook d1 check, for example, I have this square h2 now. If I were to play, let's say, rook c3 here, he has this check and this bishop f1, and it gets very messy again, like very annoying. Maybe my king also is a bit weak now. Yeah, so then I took h4, rook c3, trade, b6, and the pawn is unstoppable. And if he wants to stop it, he has to give a piece. So yeah, I just converted in this fashion, and here he resigned. So well, that was probably the weirdest chess game that I've ever played. As a recap, quickly highlighting that he went too ambitious with b5. And then there was this moment where he played the move knight c8, and I got a very beautiful harmony with knight d8 and a very special position. Then the funny moment with bishop a2, where we both laughed during the game. And I think this is the weirdest chess position I've ever had. And then, yeah, more or less a quite nice finish after he did not find this here, this study like knight c2 move. And yeah, after that I won. Good, then I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to leave a comment and follow us, and we will see you in the next videos. Bye bye.